Hey guys, I'm Amanda Hathcock, an anxiety and mental health coach, and I'm going to talk today about the benefits of an anxiety sprout garden. Maybe I've piqued your interest. I recently had a client say to me something along the lines of, and I know I shouldn't let anxiety plant those seeds, and I'm so grateful that I have the rapport, the relationship with this person to interrupt them and say, hold the phone. Would I tell you not to let anxiety do anything? And they know me well enough. We know each other, and they said, "Well, no, you wouldn't say it like that. You'd tell me to look at what I have control of." Yes, exactly. Spot on. Because if any human being had the control to stop anxiety from planting seeds or not let anxiety plant those seeds, all right, then we would pick and choose, right? If, what and if any seeds anxiety gets to plant. And anxiety would only plant the seeds that we are really strong and effective at coping with, and the ones that we feel like the benefit at least washes out the cost, if not outweighs the cost. But we don't have that control. Now, I love a good analogy. And while I am guilty of running them straight into the ground sometimes, I think this one works. In fact, a robust, healthy anxiety garden with a bunch of itty bitty little sprouts is actually very representative of your managing anxiety, coping with anxiety, being resilient to anxiety, living life while anxiety plants seeds in the background, right? Just because anxiety plants seeds doesn't mean we have to water them, doesn't mean we have to shine sunlight on them or nutrients on it. I like to wear green, but my thumbs are not green. You get the point. Okay? Just because anxiety plants the seed doesn't mean we have to nurture it, make it, and help it grow. Leave it in the dark. Leave it dry. Leave it unnurtured. So you end up with this garden of struggling little sprouts. That is indicative of the most control that you have of that. Your logical self might be saying, okay, Amanda, that kind of makes sense. Why? Why share this with us? Great question. Thanks for asking. Um, I share it because so often we get caught up in trying to prevent anxiety from planting seeds. Inevitably, we fail because we don't have the control to do that. But over here, I convinced myself that I had control to do that. And so now this failure is on me and I'm down on myself. And my tears of being down on myself and being overwhelmed water all the seeds around me. And so now I'm standing in surrounded by growing plants. I feel more overwhelmed and the cycle continues, right? Shoot, I need to do better. I need to not let anxiety plant seeds. And I fail and on and on. You see how that goes. Another way we might phrase it is, well, yeah, I know I can't stop them all, but I'm aiming for as small of a sprout garden as possible. Right. And I kind of pretend it's not there. I just like, ugh, don't focus on it. And while I'm not saying to dwell on it, also, the larger the sprout garden, the larger the anxiety sprout garden, that means the more efficient and more effective you're being. That means the more seeds anxiety's got to try and plant and try to get a leg up on you. Right? We're not actually, I would say in this analogy, we're not actually aiming for small. We're aiming for a very large, very flat sprout garden. Now, your anxious brain might be posing the question, okay, Amanda, that's great. I can try and rephrase that. What do I do with the forest behind me? Because it got watered and sunlight and Miracle-Gro. We've all got to learn. Great question, anxiety. Thank you for asking. Practice, my suggestion in the meantime here is practicing non-judgmental awareness with that forest behind us, right? Non-judgmental awareness means the forest is there. I acknowledge that. I even stroll through it sometimes. And the forest is not pretty or ugly. It's not good or bad. It's not my fault or anybody else's fault that it exists. It is. It's there. And it shapes, has shaped, is continually shaping, I guess, who we are today. So I have taken that analogy even one step further to try and explain that taking a stroll through that forest can be helpful with your chosen mental health professional support person, right? And that's what we do. We want to know those trees that have shaped us, that made us who we are, influenced who we are today better, to better know myself, to better react, better choose a direction that I'm going, right? Out here, outside of the forest, or as we shrink the forest down to our sprout bed. Last and final tier that I've gone with this analogy so far is that if you are with your chosen mental health professional support person walking through the forest, most of the trees are just trees, right? No matter what they represent, what they represent is having influenced you. Right? They're not good, they're not bad, they're not pretty, they're not ugly, we're not comparing height, they just are. But every once in a while, you might come across a tree that is particularly, let's call it interesting, because I just said we're not allowed to call it ugly. Particularly interesting. It's got things growing on it. The ground underneath it is black and mushy, and it's just kind of like an eyesore in this forest that you've trained yourself to non-judgmentally accept. Those are the trees that we do want to, with support, investigate, pay a little more attention to. What judgments is my brain quick to put on that tree, right? And maybe we can start having gone this far with the analogy, cleaning it up, cutting down, cleaning it out, I don't know. The point is we don't go and cut the whole forest down. That's not the goal. It's cleaning it up and moving forward into our lovely, perhaps vast, teeny tiny sprout bed garden. Thanks for watching today. If any of this was interesting or resonated with you, feel free to hit subscribe. There's more coming. And if you are interested in a free 5-day email course, the link to sign up is right below this video in the description. Thank you. Until next time.